Thursday, October 2nd, 2025, back at the dacha. And what was my day like today? Well, I was teaching in the morning and I got the afternoon off, and I figured, you know what? I'm going to go to the dacha because the weather is starting to cool down. And do we have the famous Khabarovsk sky? Blue sky? No. So it is definitely starting to cool down. And I figured, you know what? If I don't go to the dacha and get some work done, it's only going to get colder. So I'm out here. I have a few hours and I got to figure out what I'm going to do. So let's change into my work jacket and find some activity to do. I've decided that today is a good day to cut some trees. So with this cooler temperature, it's perfect for cutting some trees. And which trees am I going to cut? Let's turn the camera around, I'll show you. Okay, this tree right here I want to cut, and also the rest of this plum tree right here. And if I have time, I want to cut this tree right here. So these are pear trees and they're not giving any fruit. They're very old, so I can cut them up. And if I have any time left over, even that one right there. All right, let's go to work. All right, this tree is down, and you could see how dry it was. You could see this thing was dead. So it was also starting to rot a little bit. See, check that out. Anyways, cut it up so we'll get some firewood, and all the small stuff will end up going into the burn barrel. Okay, the next tree that's up in line is a little bit more tricky, so I'm going to turn the camera around. I'll show you what my plan is in order to cut it down. Okay, so I brought the ladder over, and I'm going to have to climb up on the ladder, and I'm going to cut the 3 limbs, and then I'm going to come down and I'll be able to cut like right about there, and then the tree will fall. Otherwise, if I start cutting from the bottom here, it could go either way. It could either go this way, or it could go that way, or even right on top of that tree. So to minimize the danger, if I take 3 cuts up there and then 1 cut down here, I'll be able to drop this tree without it actually hitting anything that is gonna ruin things. Let's say like that tree there, or the fence over here, or even some of these berry bushes. All right, let's go to work. Okay, there it is, all cut down and cut up into firewood. Okay, now 1 more tree left. Let's go do that one. Well, this tree is down, and no, I did not hit the house. And I came really close to the shed here, but didn't do anything to it. And 1 limb did go that way a little bit. Mad Max was spared over here, so I think overall it was pretty good. And I managed to buck up or cut up some of the firewood here, and then I ran out of gas. So I got to fuel up again, and I got to continue to cut this up and cut this stump down. I can probably get, let's see, probably 2 pieces out of this. All right, let's take a break and then we'll start working again. So after an afternoon of no sun and working away thinking, it's gonna start getting windy and cold, the sun came out, but I'm all done. So what I gotta start doing is cleaning up, and I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put my firewood. So I'll have to scout around someplace where it'll be close to the shop, so that in the wintertime I don't have to walk too far. And anything that will not be burnt in the stove, that is going to go into the burn barrel over there. And then if I have time, which most likely I won't, I gotta grab a rake and I gotta rake everything up and make it look nice again. All right, let's go to work. As I'm picking up the firewood and putting it into the wheelbarrow, I'm calculating how many hours of heat is each wheelbarrow going to give me. So this one right here will give me probably, if it's really cold outside, this will give me about 8 to 10 hours of heat. If it's not too cold outside, well, this would give me 10 to 12 hours of heat. So this is pretty cool. This is a bonus. Okay, what I mean by bonus is that I never had to go out and buy the firewood. I didn't have to go out and search for it. It was all on the property. So instead of putting it into the burn pile, why not use it inside my wood stove? All right, I found the place where I'm going to put the firewood. Let's turn the camera around. I'll show you. This spot right over here. This is where I'm going to put the firewood. I'm going to stack it up this way, left to right. But before I do that, I got to cut this brush out. And then it'll open up the space and it'll be the spot for my firewood. So there's the shop right there. You just walk out and boom, there it is. All right, let's go to work and let's start trimming this brush. It's interesting how nature finds a way to survive. There used to be a big tree right over here. And my friend Sergey and I, we cut it down. There it is, right there, the stump. And what is growing out of the stump again? Check this out. This is actually another birch tree. But I don't need them here because I'm keeping these two right here. So these ones eventually will grow nice and big. But these ones are called shooters. Shooters, we will cut them off and make room for the firewood. Plus this right here, before stacking it, I need to split it so that I have split firewood, and I'm going to mix it in with all the small stuff. So as I'm going to be grabbing the firewood and bringing it in, I'm going to be having split wood and I'm going to be having the rounds. Well, there it is, all cleaned up. Got the wheelbarrow loaded with all this, but got a slight change of plans. Check this out. These are two little birch trees. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to keep them. I figured, why not? You know, they're healthy, they're going. And there are two over here. And I figured, you know what? We'll have two more over here. Even if they die or whatever happens to them, and, you know, maybe they'll turn out that it's not good for them there, I could easily just cut them off in 2 seconds. Ding, ding, and that's that. But this right here is actually naturally planted. Sergey and I, when we cut down the birch that was over here, there was this big, huge one right there. Check that stump out. Okay. That was in the springtime. And this right here has already grown, what, 1.5 meters? So what is that, about 5 feet in one season? And, you know, that's the interesting thing. Like, there's that old saying, you can plant a tree and water it every day for 3 years and it'll die. Or nature can plant itself and you won't even have to water it, and look at that, it'll just start growing. So that's why I figured, you know what, just let it go. I cleaned up what I could. You know, there were probably about 15 little saplings, and I picked 2 of the strongest ones, and I'm just going to leave them, and we'll just track it. We'll see. If this is in one season, you know, this is from springtime, and they're already right up to, you know, 1.5 meters, 5 feet. Well, who knows what it's going to be like in 5 years. I mean, it might be 4 or 5 meters tall. Who knows? Anyways, time to take this away, and I think I'm going to take the axe out and just start splitting a little bit and then basically finish up for today. I have a total of 6 wheelbarrow loads of firewood like this from the 4 trees that I cut. And there's still a lot of branches here. So some of them will go through Mad Max over here and I'll cut them into firewood. Same with that right over there. And all that over there, I have that all cleaned up. And let's take a look at how the pile is coming along. Here it is, half a row. So I'm just gonna go to the top of that rebar like that, and that's it. So I have half a row, and there's enough there to fill up the row, and probably a little bit more to start on another road down below. So there you go, that's my afternoon. So it was productive because I managed to cut down those trees and even split some of the firewood and stack it up. So yeah, it was a productive day. Uh, it wasn't that cold. Sun came out a little bit, and that's that. So I don't know when's the next time I'm gonna come. Probably on the weekend, but the weather forecast is supposed to be raining, possibly Saturday. So we'll see. We'll take it one day at a time. But it's very good to know that I am a little bit ahead of the game here. I thought that I would just cut down the trees and go home, and then I thought, you know what? I will, bring a few wheelbarrow loads. And then I thought, well, I will make an area for the firewood. And even discovered those two birch trees right there and just left them. So cut around all the other ones and left those two. So we'll see how they start growing next year. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video and you want to leave a comment, you want to say something, you want to ask something, feel free in the comments right down below. If you're not a subscriber, help me out on my channel. I've been looking at the amount of views and who are subscribers and who aren't, and it's about 30% of my viewers are subscribers. That means 70% of the people who are watching these videos are not subscribers. So come on, guys, help me out. Smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe. It's free, doesn't cost anything. I'm not asking for any money off this channel. So yeah, you want to see what life is like in the Russian Far East? This is the go-to channel right here. All right, I gotta go. Take care, and until next time, like I always say, пока-пока.